everyone, I'm Ariana and welcome back to my channel. So I just filmed my all about eyeshadow video that I've been trying to do for a while, and in that video I did say that I was going to film a video about eyeshadow palettes for beginners, that I think if you're a beginner and you pick up one of these palettes, you should be able to use them pretty easily and use them to learn and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that video right now. So the first palette I'm going to talk about is actually the palette that I used in that video, and it's the PUR Soiree Diaries. Now I think this is a good palette for beginners because it's a good neutral palette. If you're somebody who is not really into color or you're too nervous about getting into color, this palette is a really good one. I got this in a BoxyCharm. I don't know if it's actually available anymore. I think I saw it on PUR Cosmetics website, but they were out of stock, so I don't know if they're going to be restocking or what have you. I do know a lot of people got this in their BoxyCharm, so maybe somebody's selling it out there. I think it retailed for about $30-some, and I think that's a pretty decent price for the quality of the eyeshadows. Not only is the quality nice, but the color selection in here is really great. There's a variation of color and there's a variation of value to the colors, and then there's also a variation in finish to these shadows. So you've got a nice row down here of matte base shades, you've got a little bit darker matte shades, and then you've got a row of shimmers up here at the top, and you can make a complete look with just this palette, and that's why I think that this is such a good beginner's palette. I want to get into some more affordable options as well, because I know there's some people out there who don't want to pay $30 for an eyeshadow palette when they're just getting into makeup, and you may not necessarily know what you're doing, so you don't want to waste $30 on an eyeshadow palette that you may not even end up liking. So I want to do some more affordable options here for you, and I honestly could not think of anything better. I couldn't think of a single thing better to include in this video than the e.l.f. Mad for Matte palettes. These palettes are $10 each. However, I've never paid full price for, well, I've only paid full price for one of them. The others I got during e.l.f.'s half off sale, and then I got them for $5. So let me go ahead and open one of these up. If you're a neutral lover, then I definitely suggest the original Mad for Matte. I believe they call this the Nude Mood now. There's a nice variation of color. It does range from light to dark, so you get a nice variety of value and a variety of shades to use. There are a few warmer colors here, and then there are a few cooler colors here, but this is just a really nice, more or less neutral palette to start with. There are no shimmers, they're all matte, but you can create a full matte look if you so desire. If not, you can pick up a single shimmer shade, do your look, and then pop that single shimmer on the top of your lid. Since that palette did so well, they created two other Mad for Matte palettes. Oh, actually I think they've created a fourth one now, but I don't own that one. It's a very colorful palette. If you are a warm tone lover, they have the Summer Breeze Mad for Matte palette. It used to be called Mad for Matte 2 if you happen to own the old one, but they now call it Summer Breeze if you're looking for it. This one is great. I think it has some very nice warm tones here. You can really create a neutral look with this palette if you want, using some of these more toned down colors, and then they have a nice pop of purple, and I really like this pinky peachy tone as well. This color right over here might be a little chalky on some of my darker skinned viewers out there. I don't even use this shade, but the rest of the palette I'm able to get pretty good use out of. And for my cool tone lovers, this is one of the newer Mad for Matte palettes. This one is called Holy Smokes. I love this green, I love this blue, and I love this orange. Those are the only pops of color. Everything else in here is actually pretty neutral. So if you are a cool tone lover and you just occasionally use pops of color like this, and this one is a really good palette because then you can get some very neutral looks out of this palette as well. So yes, I highly recommend the Mad for Matte palettes if you're on a budget, especially because you get really good quality eyeshadows. And the Mad for Matte and the Summer Breeze and Holy Smokes palette are actually even better quality than the original. So if you're really not sure which ones to pick up, I would suggest one of these two just because they have better quality. But if you're really super strict about being neutral, then the Nude Mood palette is definitely an option for you. I did want to include a higher end palette. If you're somebody that doesn't mind spending a little extra money to get better quality eyeshadows, then this palette is for you. And you're only really gonna like this palette if you like neutral looks, neutral to warm tone looks. But this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. I really love this palette. It's great. I regret not picking it up sooner because I feel like so many people had this palette, and I don't know, I didn't want to spend $42 on it. I did happen to get it at a sale price, but even so, it's definitely worth $42. Let me go ahead and show you the shades. This is what it looks like on the inside. You do have some very bold berry colors here, and a couple of orange tones, and this dark brown shade, and this light like lavender shade. Everything else is pretty neutral. You can get a nice neutral look out of this palette if that's what you're going for, but for the most part it is very warm tone. So if you're afraid of these berry tones, don't be. They're beautiful. If you cover them up, the rest of the palette is also amazing color wise. Formula wise, these are also amazing. I think that it's a great beginner palette because you can really just put these on the lid, blend it out with little to no effort, and have a great eye look. I think that there are about 3 shimmer shades. It looks like 2 satiny type shades. The rest of them are matte. So you can definitely get a full look out of this. And if you don't mind going the higher end route to get better quality shadows than like the e.l.f. or any other shadow that I've mentioned, go for something like this. Go for this one specifically. So the Modern Renaissance and the Soiree Diaries are the only 2 high-end palettes that I included in this video. If you do want a super warm palette and the e.l.f. Summer Breeze palette isn't really doing it for you, the ColourPop Yes Please palette is also a good one. This is what the cover looks like. These shadows are also amazing for the price. They blend super well. They are very pigmented, just like the Anastasia Beverly Hills one. Well, I won't say just like it. The formula, those powders are really soft. The formula on this is a little stiffer, but the pigmentation is really just as amazing. And this is only $16. I recommend any of the ColourPop shadows for beginners just because they're so easy to blend. They're pretty inexpensive. If you want to get single shadows, they're only $5 a piece. If you're not interested in any of the color layouts that I've kind of mentioned here, if you're really just like, I don't like any of those, I have a very specific style, I definitely suggest getting some of these ColourPop singles. I keep mine in this little mini magnetic palette, but you can really curate your own palette with singles of any brand, but I suggest the ColourPop ones because those are the ones that I've tried and I know that they're good. The matte shades are very pigmented. The shimmer shades go on beautifully. They're not chunky. ColourPop has a deal where if you pick out 4 shadows, single shadows, they'll give you a palette to put it in. So basically you create your own 4-pan eyeshadow palette for $12. You can pick out 4 shades that you are gonna wear, that you think that you will like, and give those a try. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it from this video. If y'all have any palettes that you think would be great for beginners, let me know in the comments below because I'm sure we all have different collections. There are a lot of palettes that I do not own. So yeah, if there's something that you think is great for beginners, please leave them down in the comments below. And for everyone else, if you're not interested in any of the palettes that I've mentioned, make sure that you're checking the comments below and see what everyone else is saying is good, and maybe give those a try if you don't like what I've said. But yeah, the quality on all of these that I've mentioned are great. Some of them are very affordable. So yes, that is my beginner palette video. I will see you all next time. Bye.